Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rate the Record podcast. Episode 138, the podcast is indeed back. That's right, I took a few months off, just rebuilt myself back up, and now I'm ready to do this once again. So thank you very much for joining me and hanging out today for this album review. I'm your host, Chris, as always, here in my studio, surrounded by so many glorious posters, ready to review an album, having you hang out with me and do that with me. So I'm just going to remind you that if you like what you see and or hear today, there is one thing, a bunch of things, or all the things I'm about to list that you can do to help show your support for the show. And it is the following: like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, and follow. 6 quick, free, and easy things you can do literally right now to help show your support for the show. It means the world to me. Thank you very much if you choose to do that. And you can also find all the places to do those things over at ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. Streaming links, social media links, the album chart for the podcast, and of course the RTR Club, which will eventually be changing over. It's going to be leaving its subscription model, like $3 a month type deal. It's just going to be like a donate if you would like to. It's going to be an optional way to support the show, but it is indeed yours to make. That option is indeed yours to choose. And all of that, once again, can be found over at ratetherecord.ca. Alrighty then. With all of that out of the way, we can finally start introducing today's album. And of course, it's the band that's across my chest right now if you're watching the video version of this. And the band is, of course, Ministry, and it's their 1988 album, Land of Rape and Honey. This was a big album in the band's catalog. It was their third album, which I will tell you more about in a minute. And it was a big change to the sound that the first two albums that Ministry had released. So this was kind of a make or break deal, and it became a cult favorite. It became a fan favorite. And I'm more than happy to review it today. Ministry's a band I've been getting into more and more over the last few years. A little late to the party, but better late than never. So I'm glad to start the discography on the podcast. So let me tell you a little bit more about this particular album. Land of Rape and Honey is the third full-length studio album by industrial rock and metal band Ministry. It was released on October 11th, 1988 through Sire Records. The album was recorded at both Southern Studios in London, England, and Chicago Track Studios in Chicago, Illinois. As of this album, the group consisted of Paul Baker on bass, keys, and programming. This would also be Paul's debut with Ministry and would last until 2003. And Al Jorgensen on vocals, guitars, and programming. Al and Paul also produced the album, along with Adrian Sherwood, a producer mostly known for working in the realm of dub and reggae. Al and Paul would also collaborate in many side projects including Revolting Cocks, Acid Horse, Lard, and more. This album was a departure from the pop-oriented sounds of their two previous albums, Twitch and With Sympathy. The title initially drew controversy due to its name, but Jorgensen stated that he got the name from the town sign of Tisdale, Saskatchewan, who had it as their motto due to the town being known nationwide as mass producers of both rapeseed and honey. It should be noted, the town did switch its motto to Opportunity Grows Here in 2016. The album sits mostly favorable with critics, with scores as high as 5 out of 5 from Kerrang!, 4.5 out of 5 from AllMusic and Music Hound Rock, and a B+ from The Village Voice. Many bands have cited this album as a major influence, such as Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Fear Factory, and more. The album only got as high as number 164 on the US Billboard chart and was certified gold in the US. The album only had one official single, that being Stigmata, a song he wasn't initially proud of due to using sample guitars and it being a last-minute addition to the album. And there you go, just a little bit more about the album, just in case you didn't know already. Land of Rape and Honey, right here, 1988 from Ministry. It's a pretty solid album. A lot of people like this, a lot of people in the fan base at the very least. So what am I going to think about it? What are you going to think about it? Let's find out right now by starting this actual review by listening to the album. And we're starting with song number 1, Stigmata. And as the song fades away, I guess I'll just pause it right there. So that was song number 1, Stigmata, the album's only official single as far as I can tell. It's a great, intense start to the album, for sure. It's a catchy riff to open on. You got really hard-hitting percussion. And I mean, despite this being like the final song written for the album, I think it actually does a really good job of setting the tone for everything to come, as we'll see as we move forward. Some really dark lyrics too. I mean, that shouldn't really be surprising with Ministry. They're either going to be very dark or they're going to be very political, as kind of reigns through the entire catalog. This one has references to like religion or even drug use and addiction, maybe kind of commingling the two. I'm not entirely certain. It's very minimal with its storytelling, I can say that much, but I think it still gets its point across well enough at the very least. And if you don't often listen to genres like industrial music, for example, metal and things along the likes of that, distortion on vocals can probably get kind of annoying for some people, but I, for one, actually really like it. It's just like another level of, processing that adds a lot more intensity to the delivery. And not only that, but like in my own music, I will use distortion on my own vocals too. It's just a sound I really enjoy. So, I mean, like hell, I'm about to complain about it, right? I mean, it's just a great start overall to the album. I think we're on a good track so far. It's just solid all around. With that said, we'll move on to song number 2, The Missing. Song fades away, I pause it again. Song number 2, The Missing. The intensity is like really picking up in this one as compared to the first track, so that's really great to hear. Great fast pace in this one. Really crunchy guitars just like makes this one very, very exciting. And it's interesting that this isn't the only song that does this on the album, but it doesn't rely, I should say, so much on samples as compared to other tracks. It's just very straightforward and hard hitting. There is still samples in this song that you can hear, of course, but it's very less reliant on it, just straightforward in what it's doing. And I think it's just hard hitting, excellent stuff. Plus, being just under 3 minutes too, you get a lot packed into that time. It's pretty good all around. Very impressed by it. Like, I just remember the first time I heard this one too, just feeling pretty excited about it. So this album is going in a good direction so far. That's the positive thing. Song number 3 coming up now is called Deity. Pausing it right there because it goes right into the next song immediately. Song number 3, Deity. The energy just does not let up. Like, Stigmata started it, The Missing continued it, and then this song just came blasting out of nowhere. It's far heavier than the other 2 tracks. It's a little chuggier than them too. So, I mean, there's just, again, a lot to kind of take in. Another just pure mosh song with this, like, unrelenting drum beat, low, crunchy guitars, just exciting all the way through. Like, the intensity of this album is pretty great so far. A lot to take in and a lot to just like really enjoy. So I'm having a great time with it. And it actually feels shorter than it actually is too. Because this song, it says here like 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Meanwhile, like this one feels like one of those like speedy 2-minute ass kickers. Kind of like the last song was. That one's under 3 minutes. This one's over 3 minutes. But really, I have such a great time with this song that it doesn't really feel that long at all. It just kind of speeds on through. It is awfully repetitive, but there's still a lot of intensity in that, so that's fine. But it is worth noting that, yeah, like you're going to hear that same like 2-note chugging pattern throughout the entire song, so just be prepared for that. With that said, let's see what song number 4 brings, and it's called Golden Dawn. I'm thinking I could probably pause this one. I'm just hearing a bunch of quiet frog-like croaking as the song kind of fades out there. Song number 4, Golden Dawn. This one has a really enveloping sound to it. Everything just feels far more like spread and expansive. You got some super punchy drums here, some atmospheric feeling guitar work as well, not just straight up chugging or anything like that. Like you can actually feel more of what's in the air with this one. I think that's really great. It's like there's a good riding bass just kind of like pulling the song along and everything like that. And the sampling works really nicely in this one too. I mean, granted, You can say that about a number of Ministry songs. The sampling works really, really well. I like how it sounds here. Everything just kind of fits. The mood is perfect. The kind of grittiness of the audio is perfect. I like the way that works out. I feel like this is one of those tracks that you could probably just like have on in the background and sounds good to kind of like help you flow through like whatever it is that you're doing in your day. But I should say that strictly as a listening experience, like sitting here and just taking it all in, it does feel like it drags on quite a bit, especially because it's over 5.5 minutes long. So yeah, if I'm just sitting here with my headphones and just trying to think of notes to say, obviously not a whole lot's going to come because again, kind of a repetitive song, but just it's nice atmospheric track to have on while you're just kind of doing anything else. It definitely suits that. So I do want to say that I still like the song, don't get me wrong. I just don't feel like it needed to be this long at all. Really, it didn't have to. But still, not bad. It's all right. It's all right. So we'll move on now to song number 5, and it's called Destruction. Just really trailing off at the end there. Of course, you got to get all that intense, like noisy, crunchy industrial noise in at the end. I mean, just that's how this all fits together. Song number 5, Destruction. Speaking of destruction, this destruction of sound there. I really dig the echoed shuffling beats that start off the track, and they do pop up occasionally too, but I think it just adds a really nice touch to the song overall. It's another instrumental track that's like very heavily sampled based, but again, there's nothing really wrong with that. Another just cool kind of atmospheric one to have on and just kind of take in and enjoy. But I will say with this one, there is something of like an unsettling intensity about it. Because with this one, you have like the echo drums, as I mentioned, you have these like wailing, noisy, kind of feedback driven guitars, the screaming repetitive samples that just sound like super gritty in the background. Then you have those small insertions of like hand percussion sprinkled in that are like a good texture to have too, but just everything about it just feels so unsettling and slightly unfinished put together, but it works. It really does. This one wasn't nearly as long as the last one being an instrumental. This one's 3.5 minutes, so it's a little easier to get through, but the repetition could get to some people. I understand that. It's a bit of a filler track for sure. I would say that, but still interesting nonetheless. Again, I still enjoy this one. I had a good time with it for sure. Now we move on to song number 6, Hezbollah. Another unsettling instrumental on our hands, song number 6, Hezbollah. Probably the most industrial sounding drum pattern on the album, at the very least up to this point. I'm really loving the expression of percussion scattered all throughout this one. It's very tonally rhythmic, and just as it is like normally rhythmic, I should say. So like both just feel really, really good side by side, or combined together, I should say. The sampling and the sequenced bass, I should say, combined in this one works really well. I think it works just super well together. It's just another expansive feeling to this whole thing, and also helping it feel like more of that unsettled nature, as I'd already kind of hinted at, especially with the sampling. It's just like a long sample of like, someone singing. You hear a little music scattered in there and everything like that. Just because of the grittiness of it, it just makes it feel weird and off-putting, but I really dig that. I think it's kind of cool. It stretches on for a bit. Like, it is 4 minutes long, so it's not technically that long, but it does feel like it kind of just keeps going and going and going with these instrumental tracks. And it kind of ends abruptly too, but then I guess there's only so many directions you could take a song like this in. So I can forgive it for that. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, not a bad track. Not a bad track. Very interesting. I'm liking the very like more expansive industrial sounding percussion in this one. I think it's really cool. So now we move on to the title track of the album, song number 7, The Land of Rape and Honey. Not certain I want to let the lyrics cry out at the end here of this song because I don't know that YouTube will enjoy that too much. But song number 7, The Land of Rape and Honey, the title track to this album. Now, obviously, quite the provocative title to the song, as I had already explained in the description of the album before. It was taken from a town slogan in Tisdale, Saskatchewan, while Ministry was on tour. He was like in a shop and he like saw the slogan on a mug, and I guess he was just like, oh, that's pretty funny. And so then he just named his album after it, and this song as well. Now, the song gets even more provocative, though, when you actually listen to it. Well, it feels provocative at the very least, because there are some, I'm trying to get around YouTube's content guidelines here. ZH chants. Do you get where I'm getting at there? 1940s style ZH chants. Do you get it? Anyways, there is a lot of that in this song, like through sampled bass from their time. And a lot of people thought this was a pro, you know what, fuck it, I'm not being paid to do this anyways. A lot of people thought this was a pro-Nazi song, and they slammed Al for it. But I mean, it actually, I feel like it actually stands to be like an anti-fascist song, if anything. Because I feel like with its lyrics, it's just kind of a reflection of people blindly praising their country and their own people and everything like that. Meanwhile, like atrocities are being carried out by that same country, and it's just tearing the land apart from the inside. God, that feels a little too real right now. I'm Canadian, so maybe I don't have much to say about it, but I think we all know what I mean. That's a little weird. And also, if anyone's been following the career of Al Jourgensen, you'll know that he's staunchly anti-right wing. I wouldn't say he's necessarily left wing either, but he's still extremely anti-right wing. So I would be more on the team of believing this is an anti-fascist style song. Maybe he just used the chance to kind of like really accentuate the point of it, I guess. And it, again, once again, it's very provocative to use that as well. But as for the rest of the song itself, I mean, we have like a cool, aggressive tune with like a nice, solid punch to it. A lot of good layering work going on with this one all throughout the entire thing, so I really, really enjoy it. And as much as I enjoy the energy of it, though, it most certainly did not have to be over 5 minutes long. I feel like it could have wrapped up sometime sooner. It was just kind of stretching after a while, but at the very least, I did have fun with this one. It's just the problem is that like sometimes it gets so repetitive in its instrumentation that you're just kind of like, all right, are we going somewhere with this? Are we done? Like, what's happening? So I like it. I just wish it wasn't that long. That's all. That's all I can really say about it. Other than that, good song. Good stuff. All right, moving on to song number 8, You Know What You Are. As the song fades away, once again, I will pause it right there. Song number 8, You Know What You Are. This one has like a great, slow but aggressive marching beat on this one. I love that constant, just stomping kick going through the entire thing. Simple but lively bass sequence too, kind of really helps freshen things up. And you get like a lot of energy right off the top, so there's just a lot to enjoy about that one too. And the vocal processing this one is like absolutely nuts. It's honestly damn near impossible to understand any of the words coming from Al's mouth because of the intense processing. But the tone kind of works to enhance that, once again, unsettling atmosphere of the entire song. So I think it does a good job of like really heightening the tension of everything. So I'm really enjoying this. And a fun little note too, you do hear that like one chanting sample, like a really high pitched one, of the guy actually screaming the title of the song, You Know What You Are, which I believe is a sample from a Clint Eastwood film, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's in that spaghetti western range for sure, though. But regardless, for the longest time, even though I know that it didn't exist before this album did, I thought it was the guy screaming Mortal Kombat. Again, Mortal Kombat did not exist. I don't believe it existed at the time that this album came out, so obviously that would make zero sense. But at the same time, it just sounds like that to me. That's just the 90s kid in me like ringing around in my head there, and I think it was hilarious. So I still thought it was funny. Points for that. Well, not really points for album score, but just fun little points for me because it reminded me of something from my childhood, and everyone knows what Mortal Kombat is. But this one stretches out a little bit. It's like 4:45, so it does kind of go on for a little while. But I will say, as compared to the other ones, The driving force behind this one never really lets up, and it never feels boring either. I can say that much. I actually enjoy this one a lot. I know this one's another fan favorite too, so I guess maybe that's bleeding into me a little bit. Maybe I'm just naturally feeling that myself. I don't know, but I do like it nonetheless. With that said, we move on to a relatively short song, the shortest one on the album, song number 9, I Prefer. Fading out, song number 9, I Prefer. A very intense and fast one we got on our hands right here. And hell yeah, I hear that throbbing gristle style of industrial in this one. Like, we hear the power drill in this one. We know what's up, so it's all good. That's like literal, actual, real industrial music right there. This one's got super fast pacing to it. It very much feels like an EBM style track too, like the early EBM of like the 80s and everything like that. So you got like, your front 2/4/2s, your Nitzareb and everything like that. It's got really hard hitting drums and that low crunchy synth bass. Everything sounds really cool there. Just kind of gets you moving, gets things flowing. And I mentioned earlier too, it's a very quick track, only like 2 minutes and 16 seconds. It never lets up at all. And there's also not a whole lot to pull from it, so I can't really say too much about it. It's kind of almost minimal in its presentation as well, so there's not like layers I can just kind of like pick and choose from and everything like that. But I will say it's still fun enough. It's fine. Not my favorite on the album, but it is indeed still a fun track for sure. Alrighty then, we're nearly at the end. We got 2 more here. Let's check out song number 10, Flashback.
Now hold up, man. Hold up, man. Now hold up, man. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. No, no. No, no.
The sample that's ringing out right now, I'm pretty certain, I'm going to pause it right there. I'm pretty certain that Trent also used that, Trent Reznor used that on the Pretty Hate Machine album for Nine Inch Nails. I could be certain that that was used at some point in the Nine Inch Nails catalog. I might be thinking of the song Sin, maybe not, I don't know. I'll have to go back and double check that. But regardless, this is Ministry, and this was song number 10, Flashback. This one's almost kind of minimal in its approach. There's not tons to this one. A lot of the song is based around that very aggressive pace kick and snare drum pattern. And of course, those synth stabs as well that just keep coming in. They just feel like really, really aggressive. I love it. But even then, with its minimal presentation, still feels very impactful. I have a great time with the song. I love this one. And the sample usage in this one, like rhythmically, is actually really excellent. Like, again, it is in other songs too, but I think it works the absolute best here. Just the pacing and speed of it, and just the abrupt cuts to some of them and everything like that feel perfect. I believe the samples are from the movie Platoon, if I remember reading correctly. So there you go. Fact check me if I need it. I probably should have written that down before I came into this, but I believe it's Platoon for sure. But yeah, like, they're very abrupt. They're well on beats, like super well into the mood of the track. So it's definitely like a lot to take in and just absolutely enjoy. Just really cool, intense, fun song. This one is like this one doesn't bore me at all. This one doesn't stop me at all. This one doesn't make me think the song should end at all. I actually really enjoy this one. I feel like I shouldn't like this song as much as I actually do because of some of the qualities it has with the other songs. But there's something about this one that's just so much better. I think it's just like, it's so well crafted, simple, and aggressive as all hell. I'm definitely here for it. Flashback's awesome for sure. So now we'll move on to the final song in the album, song number 11, Abortive. Oh no, it can't go into Lead into Gold next if you're watching the video version. Just you see Lead into Gold down there, which is Paul Baker's band, by the way, the basis of Ministry for this album. By the way, Lead into Gold, fantastic. I strongly suggest checking them out. I love that band. That's so fucking good. Anyways, song number 11, Abortive, the final song on this particular album. This song feels like it could have been written during like the Twitch sessions. Ministry's second album that was still more kind of like synth pop new wave based with like some kind of darker touches to it. This song is industrial, but it still has some of those like, you know, catchy pop senses about it. And some of those bass parts with their fills and everything like that definitely feel very funky. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that's super cool. It's just a nice little thing to kind of like end the album on and everything like that. It's a bit of ear candy with this one too. It plays well in stereo if you're using headphones. So like mine right here. It definitely works well, and I just like hearing everything squish around. Some of the samples get a little louder, but at the same time, it's not that bad. It's fun to just kind of like close your eyes and like flow along to as you're listening to it. This one starts to feel like a little more like a soundtrack or a music bed as the song goes on, especially with the sampling that just keeps layering and layering and layering in. Maybe it kind of leads to the song feeling like it's drifting just a little too long, and it's only 4 minutes and 23 seconds, but yeah, like just depending on what you want out of this, depending on how much how much fun you're having with it, this one could feel long or just long enough. Who knows? But yeah, the sampling makes it seem like way more of like a weird 80s music bed of some sort. It's still a fun piece to close the album out on, though. I do like it. So it was just fun to get through this one for sure. And with that said, I can take off my headphones. Finally, my ears are getting warm from those things. We are at the end of Land of Rape and Honey by Ministry. Awesome 11 song album. I think this is like a fantastic album, especially with the fact that knowing that this not only influenced many other industrial bands, but this was just a sign of things to come from Ministry themselves. Because again, their previous two albums were definitely far more pop oriented and everything like that. And also, this is the album that, if in case you didn't know, Al Jorgensen used to use a faux British accent in his older albums, like With Sympathy and Twitch. He dropped it for this one and just went to his like normal voice. So yeah, just a big change for this one and a big sign of things to come for the future of Ministry. And like some of their biggest albums are yet to come at this point too, which I'll eventually dive into on the podcast. And that'll be a lot of fun when I do. But before I can even think of that, we have to now rank the songs. So what I can do is say so long to Spotify. This side of the screen opens up now on the video version, and the numbers are there. 1 through 11. It's now finally time to determine exactly where I ranked all these songs. I gave you my opinion on them. I like broke it down and everything like that, but now let's rank them 11 through 1, worst to best, not so great to great, least favorite to favorite, however you want to cut the cake. I haven't stopped cutting that cake. I might have been gone for a couple of months, but trust me, there was a lot of cake to cut. And now we're going to be doing it again today. So let's do it right now with my rankings for this album. So number 11, Abortive. 10, I Prefer. 9, Golden Dawn. 8, Destruction. 7, Deity. 6, Hezbollah. 5, The Land of Rape and Honey. 4, You Know What You Are. 3, The Missing. Silver Medal. Stigmata, and number 1 has to be Flashback. Not a word of a lie. My favorite song on the album for sure. I listen to this song countless times at once. Like if it comes on in a mix that I'm listening to, I will literally just keep going back to the beginning because I like this one so much. It's so much fun. I do this with a number of Ministry songs, but there's something about Flashback that just always gets me. I really like it. So that's one of the leading factors of me wanting to have reviewed this album today. But I am more than excited to get into other Ministry albums down the way. But there is my rankings, 11 through 1. But those have to disappear now, because now it's time to rate the record as per usual, this part of the podcast. You heard my reviews of the songs, you saw the scores of them, and now my final score of the album. Well, wouldn't it just be suiting for Rate the Record to have a B tier album to start the year? Of course it is. The year, the season, I don't know what you want to call it. But regardless, it is a B tier album, 75.90. Quite honestly, a little lower than I anticipated, but as you saw, some of those instrumental tracks and everything just kind of brought it down a bit. But the other songs were still pretty high quality, so I think that's fantastic. Even so, 75.9 B tier album, I'm not ripping it on at all. That's not a bad thing. I still really enjoy this album. I still need to buy a vinyl copy eventually. I'm just not able to find a decently priced one or like one that's in good condition. So I will do it eventually. It'll be fun when I do, and I can't wait. But for now, it sits in Rate the Record as a B tier album. And with that, the podcast is now done for the day. So thank you very much for joining me, hanging out, and reviewing this Ministry album with me. And if you did indeed do that, please do me a favor down in the comments below of wherever you're listening, because there's comment sections everywhere. Let me know what you think about this album. Do you like this album? Do you hate it? Do you like Ministry at all? Do you agree or disagree with me? How would you rank the songs? How would you rate the record? All this and more, I want to know in that comment section. So please do. And I'm not just saying that for like engagement farming. I'm legitimately curious. I say this every time and I mean it every time. I want to hear your opinions on this. Do you love this album? What's your favorite song? These kinds of things. Like, I want to have this back and forth. That's what this whole thing is about. So make sure you're doing that down in the comments below. And remember that you can also do that over at ratetherecord.ca. You can find places to let me know your opinion. The streaming links there, social media links, the RTR album chart, and of course the RTR Club, where you can make financial donations to the show if you so wish to do. It's optional, but the option's indeed yours. All again at ratetherecord.ca. I am done now, but I can tell you that next time you see me here for the podcast, I will be celebrating the 4th anniversary of the Rate the Record channel. It's not just celebrating the podcast anymore, since the channel has expanded a lot in the last 4 years, and I'm doing a lot more content than I ever have. So with that, I'm just calling it Rate the Record now. I might even rebrand the channel to just Rate the Record. We will see. I don't know. But regardless, celebrating the 4th anniversary coming up real soon in a couple of weeks. So when I come back, well, if you've been following the channel for long enough, you know exactly what happens on the anniversary shows. We do a Pearl Jam album. And by we, I mean me. It used to be we doing it, but now it's just me doing it. Regardless, yeah, this year we're looking at Yield. So that's something to look forward to. And I hope you will join me then. So until then, go listen to even more awesome music. Take care, friends.